Why don't you start a roll? So the roll is, put yourself as number one, first name, last name, and then we'll do phone, and then the fourth thing will be, there'll be two columns, proposal upload, yes, no, and print out a proposal, yes, no. You got that, contract? Perfect. All right, so let me get on to, we'll see where we go from here, what we're doing. We'll see, maybe I'll, do we have a marker? So this is Monday, October 29th, 2018, and are these viewed? Dan, can you, is this at the right point? Is this live? Rob, can you do me a favor and check?
Yeah, it's live.
And where's it pointing? Do we see, I should see the board and the screen. Now, what we're supposed to, I don't know, we'll see here, we'll talk about projects today. We'll talk about proposals. And we'll also talk about next step. We'll talk about open source. We'll talk about AI. And we're supposed to have a guest speaker. We'll see if he shows up on app development. And if he comes in, you guys will bring him to task here. So, let's see here. Let's see if we can get going. So Jamie, who's in your group? What? And Kelsey here coming? So what is the project?
Our application called Zone Out.
It's called what? Can you speak up a little louder so I can hear you? I need to be mic'd, both.
Our application called Zone Out.
Zone out.
Yeah, just to help you
Some of you I don't think need that help to be zoned out. So what is this, drug,
it's like, okay. It's an application that you download to voluntarily cut off ads in social media and entertainment while you're doing schoolwork.
Okay, so it's supposed to help you concentrate or what?
Yeah, to focus and cut out apps that
Or that are bothering you,
Yeah.
right? And so what are you, so what's available now?
It's called Self-Control. It's used on math products. And it allows users to lock any application out for up to 24 hours, but it isn't allowing users to predetermine what times they need to be blocked off. So
Okay.
bars, you can enter specific times.
Okay. And what other apps are available?
That's all there is, I think.
So you want to look at what's your competition. You don't want to look at, Jamie, you don't want to look at just one, but you want to be able to look at, you have to figure out that even if it's not exact, what is the closest thing? So put a note for yourself is the first thing that you want to do is look at the competition, and you want to possibly widen your competition. Your competition shouldn't just be one app, Jamie, but think about the others. So what is the problem? Basically, we need to completely define the problem. The problem is what?
Like not being able to focus. Like
Not being able to focus on what? On any activity, on basically, so you need to define the problem, if it is one, and then what your solution is, and what then you need to widen, what I would suggest you do is widen your competition, and what's the next step going to be? So what's your next step going to be? Let's just move away the paper and just let's focus, okay? Let's say me and you were focusing here. So if we focus here, what I suggest here is let's look at it. What I would do for the next step is look broader. What's the competition? Number one. And the next step, what I'd even like people to do is let's start to crystallize it by a website. And I'm talking to all groups. Everybody hear me? So let's do the next step. Once we've crystallized and I've signed off, is let's do it that we can crystallize it to a website. And you can use any website developer. In the past with my classes, we've used Wix. Anybody used Wix before? W-I-X, right? It makes it look nice. You can look like your designers, but you can use any website development that you want. But let's start off by even for today is Monday. For Wednesday, let's do it that we have like the beginnings, even rough. Even start is what's kind of like the title, what's kind of like the mainframe, and you should have for Wednesday, you should have at least what's my team, right? So you can have a page. You writing this down, Jamie?
Yeah.
So the page here, so you can tell Kelsey, the page is then the team. What is my team? So you can get pictures of everybody, right? This is an attractive class, right? You know, we that's one thing about our institution. If you walk around, you know, everybody looks good, looks important or something. So anyway, so you have your team, you have your pictures here, and then about yourself that it's somewhat professional, and then start looking at a page of what you can start even what's the problem. Even put your proposal in the beginning of the website. We're doing this in an agile environment, right? So that means what? That we'll be fixing it each time as we go along. But if we have something, what's the beauty about agile development is if we have something, what is good is that people can react to it. Your other team members can look at it. You already have your URL. You can see it. In the beginning, it's free. Later on, if we want additional ones, we can worry about it. But we already have something to work on for Wednesday. Okay, so Greta, what are you guys doing?
We're doing the Apple Wallet, like virtual wallets.
Okay, so what's the problem?
That if you lose your phone or something, it's like really easy to like someone.
So speak up louder so I can hear you.
That it's not like secure and somehow, like it's not safe somehow.
Okay.
So we're just like trying to figure out.
And your wallet, meaning your wallet of a crypto wallet? Is that what you mean by wallet?
No, we mean like the one that you scan your credit card and you put it on your phone.
Okay, so you're trying to develop then what? You're competing with Apple?
I don't know if I'm competing with Apple, but we're just like.
Are you competing with Apple Pay? What? Then I don't understand what is the problem? You're saying that if I have a wallet, it's not secure?
No, what we're trying to do is just like,
Help me here,
yeah.
understand it.
Okay. So So what we're trying to do is just like trying to find like, how do I say it? So we have our cards in our phone. So if we lose our phone or something,
Yeah.
we just want something that just like lock our phones or something, so people cannot like access our.
Don't we have that already?
Yeah. So we were just.
So what are you gonna do different?
Uh,
We have that already, right? That I can
Yeah.
lock up my phone.
yeah.
Right, and then credit cards, even if I've even left a physical credit card somewhere, a lot of credit card companies I can report that it's missing. So I'm not clear on what is unique here.
We still like haven't figured out what we're gonna do different, so.
Well, then do you think that's, okay, do you have a class after this?
Nope.
So stay with me. Okay, who's in your group?
Okay, Emmanuel and Katie.
Okay, okay? You have, because I find that it's hard for me to understand what you, and it's for you too, why am I doing this? I don't wanna just do it for sake, okay? So Noah, what's up with your group?
So we're proposing like sort of a place where anyone in the entertainment industry can post their scripts, get connected to other employees throughout the entire chain of the entertainment industry, which is really difficult to enter now.
Right,
So we want to kind of make a space where anyone can post any sort of ideas or kind of get connected to other employees in the industry.
so as a networking platform,
Yeah, kind of like employees.
and so it'll be like job, it'll be like,
Yeah.
I want a gig or what? I'm a band and I want a gig or what?
It'd be kind of, they're like sharing content, it'd be more like content available, like movies or, trailers, things that basically have been, maybe like the first episode's been filmed, but it like needs to be picked up, piloted TV shows, and so it'd be a way for people to like connect and get like funding almost, or create any type of content throughout the world, and it'd be through crypto, so that you wouldn't have to worry about copyright.
Okay, so it would be through blockchain, right?
Yeah,
So it'll be a blockchain underneath. So what's available now?
not really anything.
There are a few websites like that we were looking at that seem slightly similar, but
Okay, so you have to, not even slightly similar, you have to go through and do, second stage is you have to go through a more comprehensive look of what are artists now doing, either to promote their information, is it also for digital rights? Are you looking at that as well?
Yeah, like it could be acquired through some like investors or,
Okay, so another thing, put this note down, is another where you need to do is look for things like blockchain and digital rights, blockchain and music, blockchain and entertainment, right? Are you looking for acting too, right? And entertainment. Look at those areas and look at the use case studies. They call them use case studies, because blockchain is very new. It really is kind of in its infancy. So what people have is they have ideas about it, they have cases, but through and through for blockchain, it hasn't been done. So what you need to do is come back to me on this of what is more thorough, what is available now in traditionally what people are, because there's ways in which people, there's ways of matching. If there are websites and there are ways in which people get together and match, or gigs or whatever, if I'm a artist and so forth that I'm going to.
yeah, the other part though is that we wanted to bring in people that were not just trying to create, but people that like are just consumers that want to like watch TV.
Okay,
So
so
that they
looking
can
at what's
kinda-
up and
So
coming,
that, yeah,
kind
they
of,
can kind of like get analytics based on of like what people would like to see that's like up and coming.
yeah, okay. So let's do that, and let's for Wednesday, come up at least with a skeleton website, but I wanna see more on, maybe even a section of use cases with blockchain. And then once you find out the use cases of blockchain, then you can go and differentiate yourself on how you're gonna add to this, how you're gonna be different. Okay? All right. So who else am I missing? So AJ, where are you guys doing?
We were pretty like set on what we were doing. We came up with a name, we're calling it Rocket Fuel
Rocket Fuel?
Trading.
Rocket Fuel Trading, sounds good, okay, we can, TM it and get a website and everything, okay, so we got that,
We added something else.
okay. And so, are you gonna do Ninja Trader 2, or just Excel, or what do we decide?
Ninja Trader kind of like to check it with us.
Okay,
Put like, do some stuff on Ninja Trader and see like how well it goes with ours, and then we're gonna make ours like unique. We haven't gone into like the details of how we're gonna make it unique, but we've been like, just like working it out in Excel with its features.
okay, okay, so let's start something for Wednesday, let's start even with just a website of pointing out what's available now. I was always thinking with you guys, it'd be good as a team of services, but then getting people, almost like a crowdsourcing of getting others to maybe put up their strategies, or do you wanna make it, and then this way you can get from people that have more experience with you to be parts of it, and find out ways in which you can do remuneration for people. Okay. So Jackie, what's up with yours? So what have we done different? Where are we and what's going on?
So what we did was, we added forecasting to what
Okay,
we were gonna do.
Uh-huh.
We spoke to you and you told us to do that.
right,
So yeah, right now, we're coming up with a name, we're doing a little bit of research. We actually all sat down together yesterday and did a little bit of research on what's available online. And what we came up with was that there's a lot of, websites and formulas that are available, but it's not simple at all. Like, you have to watch a 30-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute video.
so how are you gonna be different?
So what we're trying to do is make quick forecasting videos and also have formulas, like for what you wanna search, you can just click like, all right, I wanna do like dates in order, and we just have a formula there set.
Oh,
for you
okay,
guys. So it's simple, quick, and people can learn quickly.
okay. All right, so, and Evan, what can you say?
Well, if we decided to focus more on the financial aspect of Bitcoin and, you know, how to utilize, blockchain with the financial aspect of it.
Mhm.
I explained, you know, how today, you know, even, you know, there's so much paperwork with, that, you know, everyone thinks, people are streamlining things online, but that's not really the case, like right now. There's still a lot of paperwork being done that needs to be filed, that could delay, projects by weeks, months, or even like years.
Mhm.
So, you know, one way we could use the blockchain to like streamline that is, maybe through loans. We're still stuck on loans, I don't know.
Loans
Good idea.
loans being what?
Loans being that we could do syndicated loans through the blockchain network. And, last class, we had the guest speaker who was explaining to us, you know, how we track blockchain, how we can track it back to the person who mined it, to who that person gave the Bitcoin to, and so on and so forth. So we can use that in, you know, with loans, because, you know, if we have a whole bunch of people investing into this one idea through the blockchain network,
Yeah,
we could have, that, we could track how that, you know, that loanee is using, that money for your investment. You follow?
so what's the problem? I'm a customer and I wanna get a loan, is that it?
Yeah, so, I mean, today you could go on to, or even for the person lending, that's a good platform. It's as much for the lender as it is for the person taking the loan. So I now have a platform that could easily loan out a small amount of money and perhaps make some type of interest on
Okay,
it.
you remember when I was telling you before, there was what did I call it? There was like, MOIP or something?
Yeah,
Did you look at that?
I did it.
You did or you did not?
I did.
Yes?
not
No?
in a
Okay,
substantial manner.
okay, so the answer's no.
Oh, well, yeah.
Did he or did he not?
I did.
Oh,
but
you
I
did,
didn't-
and then
I
what
didn't
did you
look at it.
find?
Yeah.
And is that what you wanna do, or I'm reading this
Along
wrong?
the lines of that, yeah.
What?
Yes, along the lines of that.
So what I would do is, why don't you go to that website, look at that, program, and then try to figure out what they're doing, look at their competitors, plus them, and find out how you can improve it, or do something different to that. Cause it seems like he's basically, do you understand what he's doing? Yes? What did he say? Yes, he does, so they're, basically how I understood what they were doing is they were taking Bitcoin as collateral. So if I had Bitcoin, I'd give you a loan, but you'd use Bitcoin as collateral. But that's not what you want, is it? Or that is?
Well, I mean, it's that we could, I know when we went over it last class, that we could improve that. It's not exactly what I was thinking, but my idea was concrete or whatever, but, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess what?
We could improve on that.
Do you have class after this, Evan?
No.
Why don't we meet together? What do you think about that idea? And we'll, since I'm part of the group here, and we'll figure out, what we need to do, okay? Because it seems a little bit, fuzzy for me, and we can do it, okay? Let me screen share, and we can get in. We always have issues. I'm having issues on broadcasting. Let me see here, copy and share. And let's do this. Now, anybody hear of the Steemit platform? Anybody hear about it? Go ahead and Google Steemit platform blockchain and figure out what it is. Everybody understand? What did I say to do?
Google Steemit blockchain.
Steemit, blockchain, purpose, figuring out what it's supposed to do. What did we find? Anybody? What did we find? Anybody? What did we find? Matt, did you find something? Okay. So who found? Jamie, what did you find?
It's a blogging and social networking website. It's a new way for publishers to monetize their online content.
Monetize. This is, and go ahead, you're on a roll, very nice. What else?
It's a new way for publishers to monetize their online content and community based on battle-tested blockchain technology.
Okay. Good. So, where I'm posting are links when I post, And let me just do this, let me go to, at this point, if I, am posting, let me see here, I have too many. Okay, so, it basically, Steemit is a platform. You see here, you see this link here? This link is the YouTube link. Let me copy it. And then I'm gonna minimize it, and I'll go to Google. I'll go right here, I'll put the link here. And then I'll call this the long URL. Long URL. This is for somebody when we're gonna invite to participate. And then I'll have another one called the short URL. And I'm gonna just copy it here, copy it again. I'm just gonna cut this off. Right here. I'm gonna backspace. YouTube. And then I'll make another one right here. And then I'm gonna post it. What somebody did is they said they created coins called Steemits, and if you're promoted and you blog, you get Steemits, and their Steemits are your currency. So if you go to this URL, right, and I click here, currency. So if you go to you understand? URL, so anytime you want to, and you can share this you can share currency. You can share the link, and you can also see and I created a channel called Steemit.com at the Psycho, and you can always see then our live broadcasts based on the date. You can see us broadcasting here. And Steemit then, if you're promoted, you get currency. So that's how they're being rewarded, and they're setting this up, and the Steemits are traded. So this is kind of an interesting project that they tried, and then the more you blog and the more people are interested in your blogs, then you get Steemits rather than their blockchain currencies. Okay? So this is what we had. So if I go to courses now, and you can go to courses with me, I log in. Right, I'm going to go to our BTE audit area. We have then the course documents, and we should have all our groups, right? And which group who hasn't talked about their group? So is everybody, so group 7, Cameron, Madison, I know it's not here, Michael and Ben, is anyone here from that group?
Yeah,
So what's up?
we decided there's a lot of regulation issues in casinos, especially now with the rising, like, laws for gambling to be, like, legal and stuff, so we decided to make an app for regulating transactions made for, like, through crypto with, casinos,
Mm-hmm.
because we feel that a lot of people aren't too happy with the way casinos handle, like, money and transactions and specific things, and there's all these regulations, and a lot of times people think that they're getting like gypped or something, but with the crypto, there would be no like confusion.
Whose idea was this?
Well, it was mostly Michael's, but like for our majors also, like it kind of has to do with my major,
Okay.
and like I can definitely.
Do you know
see-
about casinos at all?
Well, that's where Michael comes in.
Michael's the gambler?
He's the gambler.
Of the group, okay. All right, so, and you have it printed out?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start for Wednesday, at least do a skeleton for me. Okay,
Okay.
so we can see it. My only concern is that we need to know what's happening in the, in the casino business and what's available and what,
Yeah.
cause
My-
it's,
Yeah. Michael's definitely more.
see,
in
cause
the
I'm
know.
not, that's not my area, it's casino, back end.
What exactly needs to be in the skeleton?
The skeleton is what you're, basically taking your proposal and put it into
Oh,
your,
just a little lengthier.
lengthier, basically, and putting it so we can look at it in, on a website, and then you can put your team there.
Oh,
Okay, so at least start with that. Okay, so I have, this, what else? And, William and Spiros, what's group 14 I have? Yes, no? What's going on?
We're, doing a website or app, like easy to use, and it just would be to help people calculate real estate things like gross operation income, net operating income.
Can you speak up? Hard to hear you.
Just different calculations that'd be quick and easy for real estate investment, in the app, like things like gross operation income, net operating income, cap rate.
And they'll be using it for what?
What?
And you'll be just having formula, what is
Yeah,
this?
we would have, well, it would be something that they put in the numbers, we calculate to get the, you know, what I mean? Like it does the calculation.
So what's the
for you.
problem?
If
That-
you're looking to get like, to find out the net operating income of a company or your company or something.
Okay, I want my net operating income of my company, what will I have to do? What will this website know about my company?
You would have to put in the necessary numbers for it to calculate it.
And why wouldn't my accounting system do that? Give me my net operating income?
Well, it doesn't have to, well, I mean, I guess if you're the owner, but if you were looking at other companies.
Well, how would I know? If I'm looking at a company, let's say I look at a sandwich store that I'm considering buying, how would I know any of their figures to put in?
Annual reports from the last year.
That's a publicly traded company, but wouldn't they tell me my net income? You guys, you have class after this? Let's sit and talk, because I don't understand what the problem is and how this is gonna be different from an accounting system, so let's work on it. Who else haven't I spoken to? Okay. All right, right? Okay. So what does Norman say here? I'm stuck on the road, my car has a flat tire, look at this, huh? Look at Norman, huh? My deepest apologies. So where is Norman? I'm stuck on the road, I'm on Lake Worth, okay, good, so Norman's not coming, okay, good. You tried,
Tried.
you tried, we got it.
I don't know if he likes Rob.
Right, right, anyway, so did he send it to Rob too?
Yeah, I'm in
Right,
there.
right, did you check, okay, so
I'll
he's not,
email him back.
okay, we were wondering where he was, okay, so let's go back. We didn't have time for him anyway, so we'll go to him next time. It'd be better, we'll reschedule and Norman will come when we have our websites, then we can work with him on our app, okay, so we got that. All right, now let's go to the regular BTE 210, Jay. Let's go to, web links. And go all the way down. do this. This was today. Anybody hear about this? Who did? So Cameron, what did you hear about it?
I only heard that IBM was buying them. I honestly didn't really hear anything.
Okay. Why Red Hat's open source cloud is IBM's game changer. Isn't this great? Aren't you excited, Jamie? Aren't you excited about this? Had you known about it, would have put a smile on your face in the morning, maybe. Okay, so basically, we got to figure out why this made Bloomberg's October 29th, 9:26 a.m. And do anybody know who she is? What do you think she is? Cameron, do you know?
I didn't see.
Oh, okay. Anyways, it was the CEO of IBM, one of the few women in Fortune 500 companies. And how is IBM's this one right here, Cameron?
Oh, yes, I know.
Okay, and that's not Jim Whitehurst. The guy on the left is Jim Whitehurst, and IBM purchased Red Hat for a mere $34 billion. So why and what happened? How's IBM stock? AJ, how's IBM stock done for the past year and past 6 months? So look it up. What? Huh?
It was doing pretty well up until like a few weeks ago.
All right, but how's it done in the past? Let's go. IBM, let's work it out together. IBM, how's it done in the past 6 months, the past year? What do we find out? Everybody signed up? Okay. How have they done? Yeah. You signed up, guys?
They're declining.
They're declining. How much?
They were at 153 and now they're at 124.
124. How'd they do today? For this deal?
They lost 5 points,
What percentage?
4%.
4%. A day is not. So basically, the market says this deal doesn't look so good. Either they overspent, right? Huh?
Well, stocks always lose
Right.
market value when they buy.
Yeah, right. So, but the market wasn't. They always do, but by how much? And that's the question. How did Red Hat do?
It went up by like 45%.
45%. We would have been better off being in Red Hat today, right? Or getting shares of Red Hat. So my question to you is, Cameron, is what is Red Hat? And this was pretty good that IBM's $33 billion purchase of Red Hat, the world's second largest technology deal ever, shifts the competitive landscaping for cloud computing and the open movement known as open source. So what is Red Hat? Shannon, what is Red Hat?
It makes open source software.
Good. It makes open source software. So how much is open source software cost? It's free. So why pay for free software? Why pay $34 billion for something free?
It doesn't, they get their money from charging subscriptions.
It's basically, it's a software platform, and what can I say then? Caleb, what can I say? Caleb, what can I say? It's open source, so why are they spending $34 billion, you think?
You can sell their data.
What?
You can sell their data.
Well, it's basically what they do is services. If we're an enterprise, and we're gonna say, we want, and it's based on what operating system? Linux. It's based on the operating system Linux. So what would they be using? Instead of Mac OS or Windows, enterprises would be using Linux, and a version of Linux is called Red Hat. And if they want to install that, and if they want to use it in their corporation, they need help. So it's software services that they're selling. Rather than their data, they're selling services. And what does IBM do? IBM has clients, and what do? They sell software services. So they think that this is a way. So much of Red Hat's business is Linux Basic OS. It's an operating system based on Linux, and it offers infrastructure services for companies that manage private or public cloud. What does that mean? They manage private or public cloud services. This is a good open-ended question for us for next time. So what does it mean, private or public cloud services? AJ, what's the difference between a private or a public cloud?
Anybody can access the public cloud, only the people within that network can access the private cloud.
Well, if I'm on a public cloud, I still have my own password user. So let's think we could do it. We could be a public cloud. We could be Blackboard, right? We go onto Blackboard.
Dropbox, is it?
What?
Dropbox.
Yeah, they're public, but I have my own password. I have my own domain there. The private is that they allow more security, and they may not have it just an open internet connection, but sometimes what we call a virtual private network. Put this in your notes then. VPN is a virtual private network that does not go through your traditional internet protocols. So it's open source. Why pay Red Hat? Notice it's, how much does it cost? A Linux operating system, how much did I say it costs? Shannon? Zero. But notice here, Red Hat made $823 million in its most recent quarter, majority through subscriptions. And this brings IBM with its software clients. So it basically allows onto the cloud. And why is, this is nice, and this is kind of like part of our chapters, why is cloud computing such a big deal? That it can, instead of hosting on premises, I can host it by other providers. And who are the biggest, if you were asked who were the biggest cloud service providers, they would be, number one would be whom?
Amazon.
Amazon is number one, right? Who else is big in the field? Microsoft. Who else? And then basically we can say Google's getting into that field, and even Oracle, which is a database provider, and Oracle is getting into the cloud. IBM, they're now saying in the future it's a business worth billions of dollars, because everybody now wants to take their services that they've had on premise, they want to bring it to the cloud. They don't want to have it physically there. And then they talk about a hybrid cloud unit, and a hybrid is mixed with built for only one client versus it's public. So it's a combination of the two. And why does IBM need it? Initially, basically, they said they didn't get the cloud business, and this is why they wanted to continue with that. So, for Wednesday, I want to do two things. First of all, where are your, what we'll do is, today I want to end early. I definitely need to see how many groups I want, then I can see them Evan and Dan, and then you guys will do it, and who else? And Greta will hone it in, because I want it to be good, and I don't want everybody, when we're vague here, we can do it. And Jamie, you're okay with what, we need to broaden it and figure out who are more of our competitors. The idea is good, but we can figure it out. So what I'd like to do is I think I'm all right with signing off with everyone else. So for Wednesday, let's do this, and you can even start working now or virtually, is that first thing is I'd start off with a skeleton, taking that proposal, let's do a skeleton just of a website. So we can see that on Wednesday. Tomorrow there's a conference call. If you're interested, and I'll put it up, type in Unbound Miami. Unbound Miami. Anybody hear about this? This is a conference that's Tuesday and Wednesday. And do we have an agenda here? Let me just go back to the agenda here. This is the agenda they have in here. Fostering culture of innovation, panel breaking innovation barriers, keynote on the neuroscience, new roads to growth, keynote innovating intersections of suits and sweatshirts, an elevator with, panel embracing AI and machine learning at noon. I'll be speaking on that. An elevator panel ride, and it goes till 5, I think, and then the next day. If you're interested, I can get you free tickets. So, panel on 305, Beyond Cryptopia, building the blockchain, and Katja Fisher, she's an attorney, she'll be joining us in a couple of weeks in this class, who's also an attorney. What did you think? Jason was good, no?
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent. He really knows his stuff. So Katya's pretty good too. She's coming. So we'll do this and an elevator. So if you're interested, Columbia. Anybody been to Columbia, the country? Right? It's big. They're big. They're coming the whole. They're bringing, I think, a number of programmers from Columbia that will be there, and you can see here. If you're interested, let me know. And I'll give you a link to get a free pass to this event. Okay, so the groups, yeah, let me sign off. Give me a pen and I'll sign off on each of these. Bring a pen.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we make a meet with you possibly tomorrow or Tuesday?
Tuesday, right now?
Yeah.
At what time?
What time? It's at 6:25.
5. Can you stay and
Yeah.
which is your
We
group?
were doing the business collaboration, so he told me to like focus on one. So I was thinking of like expanding Skype for business with having like kind of a place where you can keep your documents and like having chats
Okay.
through that.
Okay.
Do you think that is better?
Then,
Because before I was like, you said it was too broad because it was like too big.
yeah, that's a start. I think that let's why don't we do this? Do you have a pen? And I'll sign up. I'll sign up temporarily on it. But what I'd say, yes, is put together put together a skeleton, and we'll look at it on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then we'll go on. I like the idea it's almost like add-ons
Yeah.
to Skype, and then you can maybe do add-ons to others. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Or maybe we do this one, and this is yours too.
No, that one's ours.
Okay, so why is it in the beginning?
No, that's the.
UM printers.
Oh, UN printers, okay, so let me sign and then I'll get more, we need to, focus more on what we do. Okay, and this one was the casino, my only problem with this
Just like,
is,
why not? It's the same
we
thing.
gotta
Like,
figure out, because I don't know anything about the back end of
Yeah,
this.
Ben.
Thank you.
He just joined our group. Ben is very knowledgeable.
Oh, okay, if you can do that and start articulating that, so I can learn too, because I wanna contribute.
wanna make it
but-
simple,
Yeah, I want it
too.
simple, but I don't know anything about the
Yeah,
back
we'll-
end
we'll-
of
we'll work on it. We'll
casinos.
definitely-
Okay, and what am I signing here? No, okay, so we got the idea, what do we need to do then?
Make a website.
Yeah, but
some
do the
ideas.
blockchain,
Research the blockchain.
of case uses, that's what I wanna see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll put it
Start,
up there.
start up with the case uses and then we can go from there where you're gonna be adding on, and maybe even the beginning part can be an evaluation, what's available now, and from those white papers, you can find out how they're viewing it. If you go to those case uses, they've already done some work for you to see what's available, what they have.
Okay.
Okay,
That sounds
perfect, okay. Next. So what every month, so we're, yeah, I think that's my personal thing, hopefully, something you can take along.
Yeah, definitely. 'cause it's
Perfect, it's more that you can focus, that's my main thing. Okay, so tell me what,
This one was blockchain in the music industry, just to keep track of samples being used, release dates of certain
okay,
songs.
so what is available?
What's available right now is there's a company called VG Mark that's currently like kind of doing the same thing. We're kind of trying to
How are they
cater-
gonna be different?
We're trying to be different because we're trying to cater specifically to music producers because they're the ones getting the short end of the stick.
Okay, so, there has to be more than this.
Right. I know it's very early stages of it.
No, but it just
There you
do
go.
use cases, do me a
Yeah, I
favor.
remember.
For one, use cases that are doing this, because I know a lot of people are getting into this, more than them.
I know you said something about Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull's doing stuff. Don't even do Pitbull blockchain. Did you search it?
Yeah, I've read a brief article, but I haven't gone in depth.
Okay, I don't know how much is real for him, you know, but I know that he did a hackathon
Right.
looking for people that wanted to create things that he would start funding. I think he wants to fund in that area. So those are the two that I would look at, but I think it's good. Okay, so we talked about, so this, you know what I said, right? That you want to do, Jamie, more competitive, and even if those apps, you know, even ways in which you can do more of those competitors, okay? Fine, okay. So what needs to be done next? So this is, so, you know, it'd be good, is almost like a diagram
With what?
of what you're planning to do, no?
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it's just like it initiates the trade-off between like either buying a house or we just said like we could expand it to getting a boat or a car. Yeah.
No, because there is a lot on real estate. Did you search it?
Yeah, I
Real
mean,
estate block?
the big competition is like smart contracts. 'Cause
Yeah.
They kind of do a similar, job.
And you're not-
Yeah. But they don't really deal with like titles and deeds and updating it to public ledgers and things like that.
You know who you should also look at? You heard of Estonia?
No.
Never.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Estonia is a country.
Oh, the country.
Oh,
Yeah, you said it is.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, Estonia has been big on blockchain. As a matter of fact, they want to work with us in Coral Gables, because they love, because it's so cold in Estonia in the winter, they heard Coral Gables would be great to come. What? Yeah. What?
They really want it?
Yeah, so I spoke to the heads of Estonia, and basically, they ended up putting all their, it's a small country, they want to make it like the crypto blockchain of the world, and they say, hey, we're coming from Russia, we're a small country, what can we give? So they put all their ledgers, a lot of their voting, a lot of their real estate, their deeds in this country. So they're a start to look on how they're doing, but there's a lot of real estate use cases for blockchain here. So that's what I'd start to look at, is what is the state now? Of course, you can see there's definitely, you can make the real estate more efficient.
Yeah.
You know, in
And
terms of cheaper and getting rid of the middleman. Think about all those ways, even if you wanna, all the time from buying a house, how many people are involved in the titles?
Yeah.
How many of the realtors, and it's not just the realtor, it's the broker of the realtor,
Right.
and everybody that even touches the house, right, gets
Yeah.
a percentage, and we got that 7%.
Yeah.
So how is it different? So, and that guy that was gonna do, that was in my class before, he was like that coin, where he was gonna get rid of a lot of he was gonna sell real estate, right?
The Decoin?
Decoin.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't like do like the trade-off though.
Yeah,
It
like,
kinda-
it still involves banks and like.
Yeah.
I mean, while this is too, like with like mortgages and stuff, it just like makes it easier to just like
Okay.
transfer.
The only thing we'll have
like,
to look at
contracts.
of what is the part where it's real, that we could possibly do it versus taking away everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not realistic to say, I'm gonna get rid of
course,
banks,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
no,
get rid
of
of, you know,
course.
completely.
But
And
it's
how are
just-
people incentivized? I see that there's
Right.
so I would do one is do for Wednesday, first get your up and running, just a website, you can use Wix or something with everything there, and try to describe almost like what's the state of the art, what's the problem, and how are you solving it, and then we'll go into more detail and we can respond to it.
Alright,
Perfect,
Thank you.
perfect, my
Yep.
pleasure.
Thank you.
But we're honing it, okay.
So what I went into in the class, I was going a little bit too much into depth, but Nick and Chad are focusing on the interface,
Okay,
and
good.
then our goal, ideally our goal is to actually make like the macros so that like whoever's using the website
Yeah.
can easily very
Right,
basic,
and then,
use it.
yes.
But like we don't know like how like advanced we'll be with those macros to like.
Well, break it
Yeah.
down, at least for the even part, and have you done macros before?
I have done macros before.
So make them, when you do the
I'm having
macro,
trouble with like I think it was one of the polynomial ones.
okay, let's even start simple,
Yeah.
okay? Let's even start with the simple one, but even the polynomial, you still make the polynomials, just like, make it using the wizard.
It specializes. Okay.
Use the wizard with the macros, and then break it down into small segments of your macros, and then have a larger macro running each of those. Or even in the beginning, have one where they'll run 4 macros doing 4 different parts. Start off with that rather than one macro doing
I
everything.
got it to pull from the website, but there's a
You
little
did?
problem with the linking and depending on like, where the Wi-Fi is,
Okay.
things like that, it won't
Okay.
update automatically.
Okay.
Maybe like the processor. I don't
Okay,
know.
sometimes there's a problem with Excel too.
And
Excel
I
has
haven't even
got
touched
to.
Ninja Trader yet. Like we've
Okay,
used it, but we
okay,
haven't, like,
okay.
tried
Well,
it.
Ninja Trader also, you can create a wizard in Ninja Trader of your own strategy. But then when Ninja Trader, let's even just do Ninja Trader with simple stuff. You can get like a regression in Ninja Trader and just do like comparisons in the beginning. Keep it simple. In Ninja Trader, you can do like a regression channel, you can do a R-square.
Like pretty much like.
You know what I mean? So you can, the basics, and you can compare the differences. And there you can backtest or you can optimize, you know, later on. So let's start even small, and then let's do that, and then you say later on, and get something working. One part working, a small one, and then other parts, these are in progress. But we'll have something that works, that you can show someone, hey, we got it to work. You can start, and then add on
Let's get the
different.
core done first. Okay, I get that.
Do you
Makes sense.
understand?
Yeah.
And then this way you can go, and then you can go out to the community outsourcing, and now these are the lists of things that we need help on. These are the people that then we want to have people that are really good at strategy, help us find good strategies that are short-term maybe, that we can do it in class from 9:30 to 10:30. We can trade, we can broadcast our trade and get somebody to say, okay, this is the beginning of the trade, we finished the trade,
Okay.
and we can see if we did, how well we did. You know, and then you can go out to other people in the world and say, hey, who has these kind of strategies? And if they're good, we're trying it out. We can even be like a demo lab. Well,
How well they.
we can be, as the university, we can be a demo lab. We can have demo labs throughout the entire world, testing out your strategies, giving you feedback on how well it worked. It worked really well 6 months ago, but in this environment, we need these strategies are doing better, right? Or this strategy, let's get rid of our shorts. Or this strategy, this month, it would have been great to short all the time. Where the market went down so much, but if we shorted this month, right? With those big dips, right? We didn't have, we could do well. So then those are ways in which I would look at it. So think about it, it's almost like a demo lab of strategy. You know, a demo lab of, and we as the university students, we can then wheel off our services to test out your strategies. And if we do well later on, once we test it out, then later on, if we've done well, we'll take commissions
On testing everything.
on the successful ones. We'll take even a small proportion of them, we'll do it as our learning device. In the beginning, we'll give out free services, and then as part of the testing, right, we can help, and then we can go out to the world, to other students and other people that come in and test it and improve on your strategy.
There's another thing, like, it just like happens sporadically, just walk through this.
You know what I mean? We want to use technology to get out to the world. Think about it. We're so minuscule in here, and we have the beauty. How much does it cost us to get out to the world? Nothing. And if we reach out and everybody work together as collaboration, you know something about a certain field, maybe in sports, right? And he knows about those things, and you'll know about the Nike. Hey, is it good with who Nike's taking as their tennis pros, right? Or certain ones, you know? And he'll be into that one, and he can give you feedback that he knows more on what's happening in the tennis world, right? I'm an observer, but he has more of an intimate knowledge than somebody. What are you majoring in? Finance. So the tennis and the finance or something like that. You know what I mean? Of the sports, right? You're already coming in with something that's more unique that you can have throughout the world. But I'm just saying, and then you can get those guys that really know well, that have been, you know, in Morgan Stanley and even retired, and say, hey, they've been there, hey, they want to help. They're bored all the time. They want to help these students, you know, give some input to them. And then they can also gain if those strategies are helping. Or converting from certain platforms to NinjaTrader. You know what I mean? There's so many opportunities that we can have in a demo lab. And as, by the way, as a matter of fact, somebody from Columbia Columbia contacted me, and that's what, they came here another semester, and that's what they wanted, is to try out to give us their strategies to try out. And what do they get out of it? They get to see whether they're actually working all the time. And then if they're really bright people, hey, join our team. Do you have to go to Columbia? No, you could stay in wherever, Miami, Honolulu, or Madrid, right? And work with them, right? And then they could basically do it anywhere. And then you can start thinking about social media attached to it. So people then thinking about my Twitter, right? My sentiment analysis, my stock tweets, and things like that, of what's happening. Then I can broadcast, and that can help me gain functions. So we need to think about, you know, this will be the start, but then we need some skills here. But once we got that, how we don't have to solve all the problems. The whole idea is, how do we get teams? And that's the crucial thing. If we have something to present to them and we're honest, you know, and we're not like snake salesmen that, you know, we're not going to tell you you're going to do, you know, we'll sell you a bill of goods, that we're honest, and we have reputation here, as let's say as part of a university, right? We'll get university throughout, and we create teams. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see something for Monday, and then for Wednesday, at least a part, and then you can start looking at the same thing, doing it with taking even what we did, you know, and creating it with, if you need it, let me know. Look under polynomial, PRC, if you need it too, and I'll show you that you can get the the polynomial on NinjaTrader to run too. Same thing that we did, and run it on NinjaTrader, run it on Excel and see the differences. Okay, so what, anyone that I need to sign off of, because I need to meet with you guys to see. So what does this remind me?
Connecting students.
Oh, okay.
With the courses.
And what did I say?
She said, just give it to me to sign.
Yeah, I didn't just say that, right. But what did I say you needed to do?
You said make like the skeleton.
Just get started on the skeleton.
website.
Skeleton, then we'll see from there where
Yeah.
we go. Okay, great. Okay, so let's sit down, let's figure out what we're gonna do. Okay. So we have something written or no?
Yeah, I mean, this is just the form that's.
Okay, so,
We kind of.
hold on, your bag is going
Oh,
over.
sorry. We kind of more so we're thinking more like
Your finance, or what are you?
I'm undecided, but.
Okay.
we're thinking more so we kind of want to create like an app or a website where you can say as a student like next year I'm looking for places to live or places to rent
Okay.
and creating a website where you can pretty much optimize it's like a search platform where you can optimize what you want. Say this is the maximum cost I'm willing to give, this is the maximum distance I want to live away from campus.
So how's that different when they have like that campus housing website?
Yeah, the campus housing, but that only lists like two or three giant apartment complexes.
We could have,
But
not only,
but it
we
would
could also have like off-campus houses.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking more so houses because there's not that much of an intermediary between homeowners who are willing to rent their houses to college kids or. So I think maybe that would be a good idea.
This is what I get. Yeah.
Like it would be
See here.
a way to connect homeowners and college students.
This is see, these are this, right? The UM.
Right. Oh jeez.
Right.
I've never seen this.
Okay. This is called.
What does that have on there? Does that have only like Red Road and?
No.
It has everything?
Well, I don't know everything, but you go write it down or take a
Yeah.
picture of it.
Right. See, and that's more
See?
apartment complexes.
Well, I think this is housing, and then there's roommates. I mean, I think the housing, when they have that, see, I look for what are my bedrooms,
Oh wow.
how much rent, right? What neighborhood, do I want to lease? Do I want to have
This
type?
is
Do I want to have pets? Do I want it furnished or not?
okay.
Go
Are
to
there
it,
any?
it's called Off Campus. Yeah. Let me just check now. I did a new hangout, go to Steam It, I did a new hangout. Yeah, Steam It the Psycho, because it didn't work, so I had to do a new link. So go to Steam It, and the first one on top.
Wait, I don't wanna fall.
Let me see, hold
I'm
on.
gonna fall off the table.
No, it's October 29th. It says, what? And it has the short,
Bring Vine back.
it should have the short and then it has the long one.
Social media thing. I don't know what kind of.
You see it? Yeah. Okay. Did you see?
Yes. Unfortunately, this is a really good website. So
So that's what I wanted to.
yeah. Okay. Moving on. We also had another idea. It was kind of the one I talked about to you last class. It was about ride sharing between individuals in the same class or the same building. Like say I've got a class here. Like originally I had talked about trying to have an on-campus parking app and like but that's logistically very challenging.
Right.
So you suggested the ride sharing app that can connect people with similar schedules and similar classrooms and connect them to share rides and hopefully save parking spots or.
Yeah, you can just share a ride. You know who's thinking about the, no Waze?
You wanna like.
No ways.
Waze.
Oh, Waze, yeah.
They're doing Waze now, they're doing now ride sharing.
Really? Okay.
So you can check what they're doing now, they're using, I think the Bay Area, you know, San Francisco Bay Area, they're trying it out. They're trying it out with professionals, you know, like, let's say you live in a certain area and you think about the traffic, and who's going up, you know, who lives in in Weston is gonna go downtown Miami to work.
And we could do
But
this,
maybe you could do it in terms of students, you
well,
know,
even for
the
commuters especially, like people who
commuters,
live.
right, you could do like commuters and start with this campus and maybe go to another campus and maybe combine it with.
buying everything
But what part are you gonna do with the way, you know, and then combine it with Waze or something? As an add-on to Waze.
Yeah. Okay. So.
That's what,
Just-
because the
college
housing
campus.
thing looks like this housing.
Oh yeah,
thing
this is the housing thing's now in the trash. This thing is way too good for us.
Okay, right, and they were
so-
doing like how many, if you were looking for a room and not yet.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm kind of. Do we actually have to make the app and make it work, or
Well, you need to prototype it,
prototype it?
meaning that the back end may not work, but you'll show how the screens.
Ah, okay.
I'm
That's fine.
saying this is,
Logistically right.
so then if you went out to the community and said, now I'm doing funding, and they say, oh, this looks good,
We also have
Right.
I can do funding, and then they say, what do you need the money for? Then you say, well, we need a programmer to do the back end of it.
Right. And
The other
Yeah, so
idea,
this is-
you know, otherwise I would say, you know, the other thing was I was saying is like sports and finance. You're on the team, right?
yeah. So
How are you doing how is the team doing?
let's go. Our season's spring, so we've just been playing a few tournaments, but it's not like the big season.
And how long have you been on the team?
Just my first year.
Oh, your
Yeah.
very first year.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's
so it's the real beginning.
yeah. So it's very good though. I really like it. So.
In just feedback, the tennis players I've had in the past, they've been good students too.
Do you have Dane? You think?
No, but I've had in the past, I've had
Oh,
the girls and the
The girls
guys.
are very good. Some of my teammates are questionable, but I'm glad you haven't had them.
But I think the girls.
Yeah, I
the
know.
girls have
The
been-
girls are very smart.
Yeah, right. Well, they also were higher up. They were higher up on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Yeah. All right.
killing it. Okay.
Okay, so let's do that. The other ideas. That's what I'm saying with the sports and finance.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, because the other ones were not good. Okay. Now. So let me go to your.
We'll talk about it.
Let me see if we can bring this down.